Prince Harry, a no-show on the first day of court in a showdown with the British tabloid publishers. Guess he missed it for Lilibet's birthday. Or therefore he was late because of Lilibet's birthday. His highly anticipated showdown against the publisher of the Daily Mirror kicked off Monday without him present in court.
Because Prince Harry is a no-show today. At the start of the phone hacking lawsuit he and 100 other celebrities have launched against the Daily Mail and other tabloids. Julia Chapman is in London, and she has more on day one. No-show Harry. How does the court proceed without him, Julia?
Well, the two lawyers for the opposing sides are giving their opening statements today, and it had been directed by the judge that Prince Harry, who is the first claimant in this particular trial, be at least present in court today, just in case those opening statements wrapped up early enough for him to start giving his evidence, although it was always expected that the bulk of that cross-examination would take place on Tuesday. And the judge said he was a little surprised that Prince Harry did not show up today. The lawyers for the Duke of Sussex said that he had been traveling to the UK from the United States, where he lives, late on Sunday night after celebrating the second birthday of his daughter, Princess Lilibet. And due to the nature of his travel and security arrangements, he wasn't able to make it to court quite so quickly as it had been hoped. But we understand that he will be in court tomorrow. Currently, his lawyers are still going through their opening arguments, why they believe that this trial should be brought to justice. They want to see Mirror Group newspapers held accountable for what Prince Harry says is phone hacking and illegal use of private investigators dating back to 1996 when Harry was just 11 years old. But that's right, he won't be in court today. We will see him testifying instead on Tuesday.
Prince Harry's highly anticipated showdown against the publisher of the Daily Mirror kicked off Monday without him present in court, and the judge was not happy. Harry's lawyer said the Duke of Sussex would be unavailable to testify following opening statements because he'd taken a flight from Los Angeles after the birthday of his 2-year-old daughter, Lilibet, on Sunday. "I'm a little surprised," Justice Timothy Fancourt said, noting he had directed Harry to be in court for the first day of his case. Mirror Group newspaper's lawyer, Andrew Green, said he was deeply troubled by Harry's absence on the trial's opening day. The case against Mirror Group is the first of the prince's several lawsuits against the media to go to trial, and one of 3 alleging tabloid publishers unlawfully snooped on him in their cutthroat competition for scoops on the royal family. Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, said phone hacking and forms of unlawful information gathering were carried out on such a widespread scale, it was implausible the publisher's newspapers used a private investigator to dig up dirt on the prince only once, which is what they have admitted. "The ends justify the means for the defendant," Sherborne said. Stories about Harry were big sellers for the newspapers, and some 2,500 articles had covered all facets of his life, from his illnesses at school to ups and downs with girlfriends, Sherborne said. "There was no time in his life when he was safe from these activities," Sherborne said. "Nothing was sacrosanct or out of bounds." Mirror Group has said it used documents, public statements, and sources to legally report on the prince. But Sherborne, it was not hard to infer that Mirror journalists used the same techniques on Harry, eavesdropping on voicemails and hiring private eyes to snoop, as they did on others. Harry had been scheduled to testify Tuesday, but his lawyer was told last week the Duke should attend Monday's proceedings in London's High Court, in case the opening statements concluded before the end of the day. When he enters the witness box, Harry will be the first member of the British royal family in more than a century to testify in court. He is expected to describe his anguish and anger over being hounded by the media throughout his life and its impact on those around him. He has blamed paparazzi for causing the car crash that killed his mother, Princess Diana, and said harassment and intrusion by the UK press, including allegedly racist articles, led him and his wife Meghan to flee to the US in 2020 and leave royal life behind. The articles at issue in the trial date back to his 12th birthday in 1996, when the Mirror reported Harry was feeling badly about the divorce of his mother and father, now King Charles III. Harry said in court documents that ongoing tabloid reports made him wonder whom he could trust, as he feared friends and associates were betraying him by leaking information to the newspapers. His circle of friends grew smaller, and he suffered huge bouts of depression and paranoia. Relationships fell apart as the women in his life, and even their family members, were dragged into the chaos. He says he later discovered that the source wasn't disloyal friends, but aggressive journalists and the private investigators they hired to eavesdrop on voicemails and track him to locations as remote as Argentina and an island off Mozambique. Mirror Group newspaper said it didn't hack Harry's phone, and its articles were based on legitimate reporting techniques. The publisher admitted and apologized for hiring a private eye to dig up dirt on one of Harry's nights out at a bar, but the resulting 2004 article headlined, "Sex on the Beach with Harry," is not among the 33 in question at trial. Phone hacking that involved guessing or obtaining security codes to listen in on celebrities' cell phone voice messages was widespread at British tabloids in the early years of this century. It became an existential crisis for the industry after the revelation in 2011 that the News of the World had hacked the phone of a slain 13-year-old girl. Owner Rupert Murdoch shut down the paper, and several of his executives faced criminal trials. Mirror Group has paid more than £100 million, $125 million, to settle hundreds of unlawful information-gathering claims and printed an apology to phone hacking victims in 2015. But it denies executives, including Piers Morgan, who was editor of the Daily Mirror editor between 1995 and 2004, knew about hacking. Harry's fury at the UK press, and sometimes at his own royal relatives for what he sees as their collusion with the media, runs through his memoir, Spare, and interviews conducted by Oprah Winfrey and others. His claims will face a tough audience in court when he is cross-examined by Mirror Group's attorney.